Can't nobody tell me nothing.
So this is the divine intervention. You could become a spiritual guru on your own, but you just have to tie your shoes, and you just have to know how to eat burritos backwards.
Holy shit. That is the craziest thing I have ever seen. And I'm Dennis Quaid, and Dennis Quaid has seen some shit.
Hey folks, Mike Barron here. Every time we do a crowdfunder, we place it on Fund My Comic because Luke Stone is a great guy. He's a stand-up guy. And most importantly, Fund My Comic is very comic creator friendly. They won't kick you off if some purple-haired freak writes in and tells them to kick you off. His fees are also very low. I recommend Fund My Comic for any comic or graphic novel projects you intend to do.
In the middle of the night or early Friday morning, depending upon where you are in the world, a group of experienced comics professionals get together to examine and instruct about the art form that they love. That's great comic artwork on Comics by Night, Fridays at 5 a.m. Eastern, here on the Indie Comics Network, indiecomicsnetwork.com.
What was that? This is not a charade.
What a crowd. What a crowd. Let me remove this. How's that? Here we are. Hey, everybody, come on in. The bacon is sizzling. It's time for Nerd Bacon again. It's episode 121.
Whoa.
Not stoned yet. Not stoned yet. Luke called up and said, I'm going to take this vacation and I might not be back on Thursday. But if you guys want to do Nerd Bacon, you can do Nerd Bacon. So we're doing Nerd Bacon.
Yeah, stoned, but in a biblical sense or in a 1960s sense?
Any way you want to take it. Immortal Rise in comic books.
Hey.
Just waving this morning. Glad you're here this morning. Gray Wolf's in the house. I nearly overslept and missed this.
Whoa.
LOL.
Yeah.
It's like you're looking forward to it. We're glad you're here, Gray Wolf. I'm your host this time, Randy Zimmerman. You can find my work, my comic work over at aerocomics.store, where there's all sorts of great stuff in so much more coming. I'm telling you, when Luke gets back from his vacation, he'll have a lot of stuff to load up.
Yep.
So I've been working last couple days on getting stuff into that ready for the site. So we've got a subscription service over there at aerocomics.store. Go over there and check it out. Worth your time. Joining me this morning is Mr. Glenn Fleming. Glenn, introduce yourself.
Hi, everybody. My name is Glenn Fleming. I'm a writer, artist, and publisher. You can find my work on Amazon and New Haven Publishing. You can find it at Barnes & Noble. You can find this particular thing, my Character Hatch annotated book on Fund My Comic. And if you get in touch with me, after you purchase this great book about Jack Kirby, My Visit to See Him, you can also buy the filmed version of it. And I also publish Comics Unlimited, which is a 100-page magazine about comics. That comes out, what's that term, Randy?
Wheneverly.
Yeah. So check that out on Amazon, up to issue 16 now, just in the works now. But yeah, just Google my name and you'll find me somewhere. You'll find something that you can amuse yourself with, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Also joining us this morning, Mr. Pedro Ang. Pedro, how you doing?
Hi, I'm a meat popsicle. I'm swamped with work at the moment, so I don't really know what I'm doing. I'm adding new weapons to the arsenal. I'm learning Mojo, which is like a 2D rigging software for an upcoming project I've been hired to do. And yeah, I've been busy with weapons and kaijus, but dude, I don't know. Like this past few days have been a haze of work, which is awesome, but also I'm confused.
Because you have so much work?
Yeah. But you know, like when you're working and then you think it's morning and you lift your head and it's 8 p.m.
Yes.
Yeah, like that.
I'm laughing because I know that all too well.
Yeah, so I'm in that phase right now. So it brings down to I'm in a stupid philosophical mode today because I'm still analyzing like not Stone yet, and I'm thinking about the life of Brian, like like stones being thrown or is it going? I don't know, man. Like I'm confused.
We're still on YouTube, so that's a good thing, right?
Yeah.
Also here with us this morning, we are especially proud to have a special guest. We can talk about his campaign if he so desires. Mr. Carl Jen O'Connor. Carl, how you doing?
How's it going? I'm doing all right. Long time listener, first time caller.
You're supposed to change your voice, buddy.
Yeah, dude. Like Carl, you sound.
I'm known for sounding a lot like Luke.
Oh,
a lot of people tell me I sound just like him. I don't know. I don't hear it. My wife likes to listen to Luke's podcast, and she just kind of gets lost in the sauce.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
Lost in the sauce.
I don't know what's going on, but
okay.
This is gonna be awesome.
That's what she said. Comics are awesome.
That's right.
Indeed.
Come on in, folks. Chat's live. We see you out there. We know you're there. John Douglas, John A. Douglas is in the house.
What's up, John A. Douglas?
Hail and good morning, gentlemen.
It's just not John Douglas.
It's not John B. Douglas.
Yeah.
John A. Douglas.
The first John Douglas.
Hail and good morning. Hail and good morning. Said that twice. Hail and good morning.
Yeah.
Appreciate you. We've got news. We didn't cover a whole lot of news last week, so we just got to jabbering, and who knows where the conversation went. Where'd the conversation go, Glenn?
I can't remember.
Remember last week? Can't.
No. But
I know we ended up talking about my friend Ravioli Cemetery, so I'll remember that show with fondness for the rest of my life.
Was that on the last Nerd Bacon?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not even sure what day it is, so.
It is Thursday, the 27th of June.
Oh, yeah.
Just so you know.
It'll soon be Christmas then.
Yeah. Martel says I had to stop and check the screen to see if it was really Luke or not.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing how much he sounds like Luke.
Yeah, dude. Maybe it's an AI voice, like.
Good morning.
They called me, actually, this Monday, they called me on my phone with my own voice to tell me I was kidnapped. It was very surreal.
Did they really?
Yeah. Like, you need to send $1,000 to this bank account.
To your
bank.
Yeah, and we'll release Pedro. I was like,
I don't have $1,000.
Sure.
That's like
Guess
Blazing
Pedro's
Saddles.
screwed.
Yeah, I was like, wow. Like
One more step and he gets it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just say, keep the fucker, we don't need him.
You know what? Grab Pedro, cut off his member, and give it a kiss. You know, do whatever you want to him. And I was like, and then they hung up. Like they realized they called the same guy they were trying to scam or something. Like I don't know. Like they need to work in that. But AI voices, man, because I was talking to myself. It was very masturbatory. Like
Benjamin Soto's in the house. Oh no, did you get away?
No, dude, it was an idiotic kidnapper. Like
he's still there now.
Yeah, like you call my brother, you call my mom, you don't call the guy you just kidnapped. Yeah. Dumb.
You see you tied to a chair and your mobile sounds, and the guy takes it out of your pocket and says it's for you.
What you need to do is you need to get a picture. Somebody take a picture of you tied up in a chair.
Yeah.
Send it back to him and say, "We've got your hostage for $1,000. You can have him.
You can have yourself back for $1,000." Like, oh yeah, sure.
Who knows? You could make a little money on the side that way.
It was a fun 20 minutes. You know,
You stayed on the phone 20 minutes.
Yeah, oh, dude, like I was intrigued. Like, and how did you get me? Like, where was I? Like, was it a car? Did you put me in the trunk?
I didn't even see it coming.
Yeah, dude. Like, whoa.
I knew it was dark in here for a reason.
Yeah, did you use like that little like handkerchief thing with formal? Like, did you put me out? Like, some chloroform.
I was gonna say formaldehyde.
Yeah,
I love that chloroform smell.
Yeah,
give me some more.
Reminds me of my childhood.
I love that chloroform smell in the morning.
Reminds me of my childhood.
So yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys. So that's the new mode for scamming people. They will call you and tell you they kidnap you for $1,000.
That's amazing.
So be on the lookout.
Could become a little side hobby.
Yeah.
Kidnapping yourself. There you are.
Yourself, yeah.
Yeah. We got a little news this morning. Maybe. Here we are. Add that. Let me see if I can enlarge that at all.
Flash Gordon.
Mad Caves collecting the Alex Raymond Flash Gordon Sundays into 2 hardcover volumes. Nice. This hasn't been done, I think, since the last time they did it. Harris Comics, I think, did the last reprint of these strips. If you haven't seen them, folks.
But was that in the 90s?
It's probably in the 2000s.
2000s?
Maybe the 2010s that they did it. Mad Cave Studios is collecting the Alex Raymond Flash Gordon Sunday strips with 2 hardcover volumes scheduled, covering the years from the beginning of the strip on January 7th, 1934 to April 18th, 1937. In the first volume, April 25th, 37 to January 12th, 1941 in the second. Both Flash Gordon Classic Collection volumes are 208 pages. 10 by 2, 10.2 by 11.3 hardcovers, retailing for $50, $49.99. First volume includes additional background material and an introduction by Alex Ross, who's a huge Flash Gordon fan.
How many pages? 208 pages. That's a good price.
Each book's 208 pages, $50. Good reproduction. These will be great volumes to own. The stories were co-written by Don Moore, but the art is all Raymond, one of the masters of the medium. Raymond's Flash Gordon comic strip appeared only on Sundays in color from the origin of the character in 34 until 1940, when a daily strip was added because he was just that popular.
You know what's cool about like old sci-fi, like before the 60s and 70s, that people didn't have fake pictures of the moon and space at that time. So depicting space was more creative, I think. in those times.
Yeah.
Now we have references of the fake moon landing and all that stuff. For the record, I don't think it's fake. I just find it funny that some people find it fake. But whoa.
Classic collection volumes are part of a broad publishing program around the property from Mad Cave, including an ongoing Flash Gordon series, a Defenders of the Earth series, a Flash Gordon quarterly series, and a series of middle grade graphic novels as well. Lots more coming. Look at that great artwork, folks.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen Alex Raymond's stuff, this is the way to see it. And especially the first volume, because you get to see the evolution of Raymond as an artist. And he goes from having a really almost comic book golden age feel to it to breaking out and becoming on his own. Just a master illustrator. It's great stuff. I can't recommend this material highly enough.
When is it out?
I think it's next year.
Right.
Jump back to the covers first volume.
It just says.
Yeah, it doesn't, does it? Well, let's hope it's coming soon then.
I like the designs, of that Flash Gordon era. It's almost like a Renaissance armor with a futuristic twist on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It looks very like Italian. What are the name of those guys?
Renaissance artists?
No, like the pikemen, the Swiss pikemen that guard the Vatican.
Oh yes, I know what you mean. Yeah.
Like it has that kind of flavor, like the whole design of the art, like the chest armor and the gloves and all that. Like, dude, it's awesome.
Yeah, if you ever saw the Sam Jones movie, that's about as close to the comic strip as they've ever put on film.
Oh yeah,
and only not quite with the Batman campiness added to it. And this is the strip that really brought space opera into the fore, into the attention of everybody. The movie serials, Buster Crab. After that, the movie serials got turned into TV shows.
Yeah.
Then, if you're a little younger than me, you remember Defenders of the Earth. Defenders of the Earth with Flash and Luthor and Mandrake and Phantom all together.
But you know what was funny about that Flash Gordon movie? That all the soundtrack was recorded with a Moog, which is like a keyboard.
Oh yeah.
But the music was very like epic, operatic, like grandiose, but with Moog. So it sounded weird. Like, for example, like when the avians were like attacking and the king was saying like dive, and they were like the song was like
that was the role that made Brian Blessed's career.
Yeah.
And nobody. He was a Shakespearean stage actor before that. Very few movie or TV roles, and his career picked up after that. All because he got, he knew he was to be flamboyant and
grandiose.
Yeah, grandiose. What a great character.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, the music was jarring to me because it called for a huge orchestra, and they were doing all with like a little Moog and like a rock ensemble.
Budget, man.
Yeah. But that's the thing. If you see what Ennio Morricone did with a little budget on all those spaghetti westerns, and then you see what happened in Flash Gordon with the music, like, it goes to tell you, like, it's more who's making the music more so than how much money you've got.
Right.
Yeah.
Just like guys in everything, I guess.
I got a free comic book day Gordon from Mad Cave. I enjoyed it. Good. Got to be better than the daily comic strip that's running right now from King Features. That thing looks so messy.
Yeah.
I haven't read a long run of it, but I didn't want to read a long run of it either. But anyway.
I'm sorry, Hojo.
Hojo says, hi, Grey Wolf. What's up?
Yeah.
Hojo says, every time I hear Moog talking, talk CI, think of Rick Wakeman. Yeah.
Exactly.
It's pronounced Mog.
Mog?
Oh, the Mog.
Not Moog?
No.
Well, I'm Latino, Glenn. Cut me some slack.
Well, you're quick to point our errors, so I'll point yours.
Yeah.
I love Alex Raymond. I'm slowly collecting his Rip Kirby books. Excellent.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Good luck on that, man. Alex Raymond is amazing.
Yeah, that's a quest and a half.
Mortal says Defenders of the Earth, morning cartoon, that theme song.
Yeah,
yeah. Yep. Great stuff.
But we don't know when it's coming out.
Yeah.
We wish Mad Cave the best. I hope that it runs better than the Dick Tracy adaptation.
Yeah, sure.
Ooh,
We'll see how
yeah.
it goes.
That ended with a thud, right? The Dick Tracy, but that looked good though. Like I remember it looked good.
I haven't heard much about it, so we shouldn't derail it until we know for sure. Or pick on it at all. I guess.
I'm not picking on it. I'm just like I haven't heard anything from it. Like land with a thought is a question.
Few people realize just how important the comic strip was in American culture for so long. That when you only had the radio to listen to and the newspaper to read, that was it. I mean, if you got a comic strip, you were made. And there are statues, bronze statues of a lot of comic strip characters based all over the country. Now, somebody just posted one, I think out in Colorado. They've got a statue still standing of Steve Canyon, a large bronze statue. And I'm like, really? That's crazy. It's that Milt Caniff didn't hang around the town or nothing. I guess he had a bunch of fans out there that got a petition up and got a bronze statue made of Steve Canyon, put it in the town. So now all the kids will probably think he's some big action hero in the past or something. Crazy stuff. But yeah, comics were really, really big. That's how that was your big goal when you were a cartoonist, is to get a comic strip, because then you made a lot of money. And you were treated like a superstar.
Yeah.
See what else we got running here. It says, I've got the first 2 issues of the new Dick Tracy. It's basically a crime drama dressed in a yellow trench coat. Not the Dick Tracy I read from Chester Gould. Yeah, that's what I figured, Hojo. Yep. It's nothing matches those early strips. And IDW did a whole run of beautiful reprint hardbacks on that from the start of the Dick Tracy strip all the way up through most of his major villains. So
yeah, dude, but that's the thing. Like, that's the stuff. First guy I remember that had like a villain roster worth remembering. You know what I mean?
Yeah. First real rogues gallery.
Yeah.
Even before Batman. Let's see what else we got in here. I got not that one. Let's try this one.
Yeah.
This might be a little too dry for the house, though.
Not that one.
Not that one. This one. Yeah. Tucker Stone joins Fantagraphics.
Talking about stones again. Yeah.
Exactly.
Who's Tucker Stone?
I guess we are stoned today after all, aren't we?
Yeah. He looks stoned.
Luke's cousin, Tucker Stone, longtime The Comics Journal contributor, Tucker Stone. That's who he is. Has joined Fantagraphic Books in a full-time role as executive director of communications and marketing, the company announced. Jacques Cohen, who previously held that role, resigned to take a new position at the Webtoon platform Tapas. Stone was a partner in the highly visible Brooklyn store Bergen Street Comics.
Oh, dude. That Tapas name,
and also,
that has a connotation, that Tapas name, because in Spanish, tapas is slang for butt cheeks. So I always chuckle when people say tapas. Really?
Some butt cheeks.
Hey, you're tapping on your tapas there.
He also spent time at No Brow Consortium Book Sales and Distribution, who I've never heard of, and most recently at Toon Books as an editor of the Comic Journal line. He won an Eisner Award in 2018. 2018 Eisner Awards. I've known...
That's something that Rob guy's never won.
Yeah, there you are. I've known Tucker for 15 years, since he was the managing editor at Bergen Street Comics, which hosted many a Fantagraphics event in its heyday. Fantagraphics Vice President Eric Reynolds said in a statement accompanying the announcement, I've watched him carve a career in comics that not only covers virtually every facet of the industry, retailing, publishing, distribution, editorial, marketing, floor cleaning, etc., but also do so with integrity and a sincere love for the medium and desire to make comics better.
He sounds like a busy bee, and I don't like him.
Could be.
Notice how it doesn't have any creativity in there, like drawing or writing or coloring or inking or.
No. He's a guy who's like a fan from the sidelines that
you don't have to have talent anymore, guys.
Yeah, talent is overrated.
He doesn't fit a DEI quota either.
No. Talent's for.
Oh yeah, dude. Like
talent's for wussies.
No.
He's very non-ethnic.
Yeah.
I haven't seen a person that's a little less ethnic than this guy.
We want to congratulate Tucker Stone for his promotion within.
Yeah.
Somebody say Stone used his privilege to get where he's at today.
Yeah. Oh, dude, he's blending with the background. Like, wow. Sorry, I'm gonna stop. That wasn't called for.
Oh, that one's not catching here.
No.
Let's see. We got another one here somewhere.
Okay.
Here's a really good one, folks. We knew this day was coming.
Uh-huh.
Oh. Let's try.
Remember that movie Powder? Okay, sorry.
That movie Powder? What?
Powder, yeah.
This quickly became an 80s thing.
Yeah. Here's the article we were just waiting for. Dark Horse and Marvel sign multi-year licensing agreement for broad range of art books. Including a new imprint.
Didn't even see it coming.
Didn't even see it coming. Just the start, folks. Dark Horse Comics and Marvel have struck a new multi-year licensing agreement for Dark Horse to publish a broad range of art books, including a new imprint for the works of legendary Marvel Comics characters and creators. The company's announced the new line will be helmed by well-known designer, editor, and packager John Lynn, who won an Eisner Award. This is a year after Tucker won his award, for his book design work for Kitchen Sink Books. See, 2019 Eisner Award.
Oh, Kitchen Sink. Okay. I thought it was Kitchen Sink.
Yeah, a previous Dark Horse imprint on which Lynn was partnered with legendary creator Dennis Kitchen. Quote, our initial projects will concentrate on exploring the extensive artistic and design legacy at Marvel Comics, including the substantial contributions made by its iconic creative teams. Creative director, editor, and designer Lynn said of the new line, combining the incredible depth and content within Marvel art archives with Dark Horse's exceptional design and production will offer fans unparalleled editions of this material. So what are the first two books that they're doing? Freaking video game art. Books published under the overall licensing agreement will include video game art books, artist monographs highlighting Marvel's talent, topography, and graphic design, and retrospective of Marvel collectibles. Dark Horse released 2 video game art books, The Art of Marvel's Spider-Man 2 and Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, the poster collection, earlier this year. Same stuff. Now, a couple of little test books to see how the market goes, and then hey, have a contract. Marvel announced a third Marvel video game art book, Marvel Spider-Man 2, the poster collection, a 42-page, 12-inch by 16-inch compendium with perforated pages that's for easy tearing out to tape to your walls. Due out November 5th, bookstores or 6th comic stores at $29.99. $30. The first book under the Bullpen Books imprint, Bullpen Books, folks, will be The Art of the Amazing Spider-Man, collecting 7 complete stories with art. I don't know how they're going to do that. That'll be a thick book.
Yeah.
Art by John Romita Sr. from The Amazing Spider-Man 139 to 122. Oh, just 7 issues. No. Oh, no, from Spider-Man 39 to 122. Yeah, okay. So yeah, that would be about 7. That might be 7 complete stories at their current decompressed storytelling. Shot from the original art in the Marvel archives, plus covers and essays. The 200-page 10 by 14 hardcover will be released at $60 because $50 is just too low on October 15th in bookstores and October 16th in the comic stores because it takes Diamond an extra day to get their act together. That's what it says right there.
Oh. Okay, so this is the natural movement of Marvel Studios, aka Disney, shaking the fleece and takes off for what is producing comics.
It's another step in the evolution, I would imagine. Yep.
Yeah. And
so that also gives Dark Horse a foot in the door for when they actually start licensing out their characters again.
Yeah, exactly. So as they said, some sorry, not sorry.
Mm-hmm.
They took over the comic book industry. So
I think we can say that, folks. Can we say that?
Yeah.
Where are we here? Boom. Hojo says we recovered the first issue on an episode of the Gutter.
Oh, he's talking about the
he's talking about the Dick Tracy book. Yeah. Good morning. Good morning, Tank Ferret. Glad you're here. Tank Ferret says, hi, all. Hope you're all having a great day. Just popped in to say hi. Russ, you're welcome on the air if you want. The Nerd Bacon back room's got the link in it if you want to step in. Anybody's welcome.
Yeah, Russ. Don't let Glenn be the only Brit here.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Honestly, they could.
He's not representing you well.
Well, we'd have more Panamanians, but they've all been kidnapped.
Yeah, exactly. I can have myself right beside me.
In fact, I think you're the kidnapper.
Yeah, exactly. I kidnapped myself, and I asked $1,000 from myself. I have more than one bank account. I could do.
I like the way you got yourself down to a measly $1,000. That's not. That's not a good look, is it?
Okay.
No.
I've seen enough movies to know my people are not valuable, Glenn. So yeah, that's kind of like the market.
You're valuable to me.
What do you mean by your people?
Yeah.
That's right.
What do you mean your own people? Yeah, just
mean Panamanians.
Yeah.
All the Panamanians I've met were always okay with me.
Yeah, you only know me, Glenn.
I don't know you at all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What does that tell you?
I feel like I never known.
Honestly, they couldn't use much new art.
You mean know him in the biblical sense?
Standard quality.
Yeah.
Oh. Well, anyway. That's the 3 articles I had pulled up right away. There's another one that I wanted to cover last week that talks about Frank Miller.
Let's look at it.
It's kind of a downer, but it's going to take me a second to dig it up.
Yeah.
So talk amongst yourselves for a moment. Jen, tell us about yourself.
No.
I'd rather not.
I didn't have time to write a backstory. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right.
Pedro, have you been to Europe?
No. I've been to all through the Americas, the continent, but I don't know. I've never had a reason to go to Europe, I guess. I would love to go.
What about because it was there?
Yeah, exactly. But the thing is, like, I was married to an American, and we did a lot of traveling to the U.S. when I was married. And because of what I do, I've been doing a lot of, like, Central American conferences and whatnot. So I'm not really, like, a traveler. Like, I enjoy traveling, but I'd rather do other things, like play music or whatever. So vacations in Europe, like, at some point I'm going to do it, but just I'm busy.
Yeah,
yeah.
you should.
Yeah, I've heard the food is excellent.
Depends where you go.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know. I was speaking with an Italian lady. It's like, you should come to Florida. It's like, yeah, of course.
I heard somebody say that America doesn't have American food. Like, like they say, like, oh, that's Chinese food, that's French food, whatever. But America doesn't have its own cuisine. And they're like, well, name something that is uniquely American. And the hamburger, someone mentioned. It's like, well, that's from Hamburg, Germany.
Yeah.
Yes and no.
Okay.
Yes and no.
The salad steak
was actually invented here for the workers.
It was.
It was invented in America.
Yeah.
It was named after, because the dude was German that did it, right?
That's right.
Hot dog, our version of hot dog, I think is uniquely American. American cheese, because it's a it's a cheese product. It's fake.
Right? You're killing Glenn, but cool. Yeah.
Right? So,
Yeah.
no, like we made it during the Depression. The Great
Yeah,
Depression.
but the cool thing
So
about
they would have
American cheese is that nothing goes better in a burger than American cheese. Like you can try like Gouda or whatever, and it's all right, but it doesn't taste like a freaking burger.
Yeah, the cheeseburger was invented in, Tank You're Right, in Los Angeles. You know what else is uniquely American? A fortune cookie. Invented by an American in California. Has nothing to do with Asian culture whatsoever. You'll never find it anywhere. That is a American thing. The other thing is also French fries. They like there's been crisps or chips everywhere else, right? Crisps are like potato chips.
No.
Crisps are like potato chips.
Right?
Right?
No, they're not. No, they're not. No.
Okay, what are they like?
Cookies, right?
Right. Chips are thicker French fries. What you would call French fries.
What we call steak fry here.
What we would call steak fries here. Yes.
Okay. And I'm not sure. I might have misheard you there. Our crisps are your chips.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Right, yeah.
Yeah,
Chips.
like potato chips. They're potato chips, yeah.
We call them
and
crisps.
so, yeah, you call them crisp, right? Yeah. So the thinner version of the chip, right? The fry, we called the French fry to make it sound fancy.
Right.
Like that's what we did. We do that crap with a lot of stuff here. We will like just give it like, oh well, it's that's what they do when when in Rome kind of thing, right?
Well, no, it's not. It's funny you should say when in Rome because you probably would say a lot of Americans say Parmesan, and it's not. It's Parmesan.
Parmesan.
And you also say you say basil, and it's basil.
Basil.
And you also you Americans say oregano, and it's oregano.
Really,
See,
oregano.
That one I can't get behind. It sounds like you're making fun of somebody.
In Spanish,
we
in
probably
Spanish,
call
oregano, so maybe that's why.
Yeah, we probably call it oregano here to distinguish it from origami.
Origami,
right?
Probably.
Origami.
Yeah, but
so I knew this lady at this church.
The Chinese art of paper folding.
I know what it is. I'm just saying.
It's Japanese, Randy.
Let's explain it to Glenn. Glenn doesn't know anything about that.
Yeah, it's Japanese.
Origami.
I don't know.
You know how Glenn isn't that worldly aware. You know.
I don't know anything about anything.
You see, when you fold a piece of paper into a shape, it's called origami.
And you make a boy.
You fold a piece of paper, then put it in your food.
There you go.
Yeah.
With oregano. Yeah.
Speaking of food and paper, did you guys know
that
there was
basil oregano?
Did you know there was a cookbook?
Yeah.
There was a cookbook that said "Eat this book," okay?
Yeah.
And it was recipes. It was printed on parchment paper. It was recipes. You open it up, pull out the pages, and you lay the ingredients on the parchment paper, and then you fold it up and you put it in the oven, and that was the cookbook.
Well,
like you actually cooked with the cookbook.
That's a brilliant marketing strategy.
It was brilliant.
It is. If you like any of it, you got to buy the book again.
Yeah.
Right.
It's almost as brilliant as my own kidnapping.
I'm like, I just learned about this. This thing was like back in the 80s that they were doing this thing.
Nice.
And I just learned about it yesterday.
About the same time the Joy of Sex book came out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
It was brilliant. It was brilliant.
Brilliant.
But yeah, we like to fancy things up by giving it special
American
names.
cheese is Swiss.
Yeah.
Swiss. Yeah.
Yeah. Pinconning cheese comes from Pinconning.
Yeah. Oh, the thing is that I think you say Parmesan.
Parmesan.
You said it's Parmigiano Reggiano. So, you know how like Italians are in America. They're different from Italians in Italy.
Nobody can still pronounce Worcestershire right anyway.
Yeah.
Worcestershire.
Worcestershire.
That's a most practical joke, that word. Like,
so so there is a very distinct Hoosier accent in Indiana. Of course, I know nothing about that. I've heard Luke talk about it. That there's a very distinct Hoosier accent that takes place in the States.
Being from halfway across the world, it's amazing how you have such an American accent.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. You know, I was raised by Americans.
There you go.
But
raised by wolves. I was raised.
I was raised by wolves. It's the same thing, really. Yeah. Americans, wolves.
Yeah, they fed me raw beef.
Right. That's how I learned about the hamburger.
So,
from the faraway land of Ohio.
So I don't even remember what I was saying now.
Sorry.
You were talking about how you were raised by wolves.
Very distinct accent in Indiana. It's because it's a mix of it's like a real melting pot. Like there's a lot of Germans here, so there's Germans who get a little bit of that.
They're everywhere. They're everywhere.
Oh, they went to Argentina.
Yeah, it's a big German pot.
Only the big ones. Only the big ones.
So the sausages must be great, though. If you have whenever there's a lot of Germans, the sausages are great, and they look at you funny.
The smart ones we kept, but we didn't. We had to get the big ones permission, so we let them go to Argentina.
Big Jim
escorted them by sub too.
Yeah.
Keep telling folks, all you got to do is shave your mustache. Nobody will recognize you, just like Clark Kent in his glasses. Yep. There you go. Yeah, Russ.
I remember, dude, when I went to Manaus in Brazil, I went to a little town. I felt like I was in Germany, man. There was polka music, and they had the distinctive Bavarian structures. And people were looking at me funny, what you doing here? And it was cool. I loved it. But they speak to you in perfect Portuguese, so it's jarring. I know they speak German at home, though.
Yeah, Russ sends me the link for the podcast with Red Dragon. And two of the guys there were both speaking Portuguese. I got to talk to them in the back room. That was a lot of fun. Man, the stuff that they offer is just incredible. I love their books. I just wish I could read them.
Yeah.
Black Templars and Lecherous Flurries are now canon for Bluey. Well, we're not here to talk about your favorite child's cartoon.
Yeah.
Tank Ferret. Unless I'm not sure what that even means. Is that code for something? Black Templar,
I know what Bluey is, but
Lecherous Flurries.
A Black Templar sounds scary, man.
I know what a Bluey is. I've got grandchildren. So
you have a Teutonic knight named Jeffrey. How does that work?
Okay.
Yeah.
Pinto beans and cornbread. LOL. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's very cowboy food.
Cheeseburger was invented in L.A. Burritos too. That's because they're all hungry over there. Swiss cheese or American cheese is Swiss. German chocolate cake is American.
I mean,
Los Angeles.
Not the word German in it, but
fight over who invented the fortune cookie. American cheese. It's the guy who accidentally mixed the paper into the cookie batter. That's what it is.
That guy.
Yeah.
That dude.
It's like you put chocolate in my peanut butter. It's like one of them ads. Yeah.
I watch a lot of those food-related shows.
It's his name from the American
TV.
Cheese Act. Yeah.
And it's Chinese food in America is completely different from Chinese food in China because their ingredients are different. There's more meat available, and it's just if you have Chinese food here in Panama, it's been Panamanianized, I guess.
Panamanianized. That's an Americanism. Panamanianized.
Panamanianized.
Yeah, exactly. So that's the thing.
Right, Hojo, are you listening? I'm a man of the world, so I know that they are American. So I lock into that, and I would say ZZ Top. You're expecting me to say ZZ Top, but that wouldn't be right, and I know this. So.
All right, the horse-like animal with stripes on it. What do you call it?
That's called a zebra.
Thank you.
Zebra.
Thank you.
Zebra.
I don't know why we call it a zebra here because it rhymes with it's Deborah. We don't call them Debras. Hey, have you met my friend Debra? No.
That sounds like she
no,
has
it's
extra parts.
Deborah. It's a zebra.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, we got Comics Crusader in the house. Como ta, papi? Sorry.
So we had a pizza joint here years ago called Raphael. Some Mexican folks ran it. The joke was authentic Italian food prepared by authentic Mexicans. LOL.
Yeah.
It's probably a really great place too. Yeah.
Every Italian will tell you. Every Italian will tell you.
What's funny about that statement that you say run by Mexicans? Some of those Mexicans are fake Mexicans. They're from El Salvador or Honduras or Nicaragua, but nobody cares. You're a Mexican.
But every Italian will tell you a great Italian restaurant has Mexicans in the kitchen.
Yeah, of course. Dude, you want to see something that goes extra notch of racism? In Panama, there's an ethnic group that's just in charge of cooking. and they're like native Panamanians called the Guna. Like wherever you go to a restaurant in Panama, if you don't have Gunas cooking, you don't go. Like those guys are the guys who cook. And yeah, some people find it racist. I find it delicious.
Why is it racist?
They're
good cooks.
Some people say, "Oh, so only
How dare you?"
So you mean that's the only thing they can do? Like, no, they can be.
No.
I don't see how
they're the best at it.
Yeah,
I make Indian curry, so am I racist? Because I'm not.
No, you're culturally appropriating the recipe.
Well, depends on what they're currying.
Yeah.
We make curry here too.
My curry recipe is an authentic recipe a guy gave me in India, in Agra.
Okay.
So I'm not
curry.
racist. I'm promoting his food, which is.
You just know it tastes good.
If I come to your house, I'll make you some.
Yeah, the thing is, like, if you like it and people like it, like, what's the problem? Like, you have to be told, like, Sandeep who make the freaking curry? Like, stupid.
I had never had curry before, and then my friend who is British, he was like, you've got to try it. So he took us to one of his favorite Indian restaurants, and he just ordered one of like
Nicaraguans.
Right, exactly. And he just made one of everything. Like he ordered one of everything, and I tried it all. And I'm telling you, I fell in love. And so now I'm in this little town. We have no Indian restaurant at all.
Mm-hmm. I'll send you my recipe.
Thank you. I will.
Jen, I will send you my recipe.
Yeah, Jen. Like my mom.
My
mom is actually like she would be like first generation born in Panama, but her father was Indian. So I'll send you like my mother's. She has like 6 different kind of curries, from curried goat to green curry, butter chicken, like all those stuff.
Butter chicken.
I'll compile the recipes.
I'd kill somebody for some butter chicken.
Yeah, I compile her recipes and send them your way.
We keep meaning to put a book together of Monica's mom and her grandparents. Had a bunch of recipes that they always followed.
Should do it, or it might be lost.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, we've got Grandpa on videotape a couple of times making tamales.
Oh, wow.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he was 100 and I think he lived to be 106.
And that's his picture?
We caught him.
Oh no, that's Frank Miller. Oh, okay.
That's not his picture. No. Actually, Monica's grandpa looked better than that. But
yeah, dude. Like...
We should do our own Nerd Bacon cookbook and I'll put a recipe in there.
Oh no, that would be cool.
Put it on Fund My Comic and see what happens.
Yeah.
So I come from a Greek background, right? My grandfather was Greek.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you laughing at that, Glenn? That's not a joke.
That's not the joke. Family. It's Carl's family.
It is for some of us more educated adults.
Respect Carl James' family, okay?
Go on. Yeah. So your granddad was from Greece. Go on.
My granddad was from Greece, right? My grandmother was Dutch, right?
Yeah.
It was my father who was an O'Connor.
Nice.
Right?
Uh-huh.
So that's how that worked out.
Okay.
He was a drunk Irishman.
Nice.
That's what it is.
Right. Okay.
So that's how I got my nickname Jen.
There you go.
Irish people don't drink gin; they drink Guinness.
There was apparently too much sawdust in the cheese. Yeah.
Jameson.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, there was this Greek restaurant that they made these things. It's real famous in my hometown, and only in my hometown, nowhere else. But it's very famous there. So the guy that owned that restaurant was friends with my brother and taught him how to make this thing that only on occasion he would make, called a meat roll. Right? It is a lot like it's just a tiny little meat roll. Well, I was able to get that recipe, and I Americanized it, and so it is a delicious recipe.
I'm sure
it will blow your freaking mind.
I'm known for giving the meat roll every now and then.
I mean,
whomever's willing.
I mean, so they're supposed to be small, like kind of like pinwheel, cinnamon roll things, right? I make them to where like one of them fits on a saucer, So
obviously,
you got to make them bigger, right?
Go big or go home. That's
because I got to overcompensate for something.
Exactly.
Emotional, damn it.
Yep.
Pretty much. I mean, that's it.
Pretty much.
Anyway, Frank Miller.
Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna be talking about food. Like I had this like Greek dish.
Frank, a drinking problem? Duh. Have you read DK3? I did see his Uncle Scrooge cover though, with the farting feathers. Yeah.
Oh, dude! Like, have you guys had spanakopita?
That last one wasn't nice. Thanks for recognizing that, Tank Ferret. We try to be positive and up here. So I grew up in Indiana, and yeah, we have our own accent up there. LOL. Gray Wolf Tank says, morning again. Caesar salad was invented in Mexico City.
Indeed, yeah.
Hola, muchachos. Whoopa. Good morning.
Huepa.
What? Tocineros?
Tocineros, yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Hola. ¿Cómo estás? Lots of Amish farther south in Indiana. There's a bunch of them up in the north area, too.
Yeah, those guys make great butter, right?
Yeah, all over this.
There's a lot of Amish in Indiana, period.
Salute to the chat.
So I've heard.
Don't dox.
The thing that I find it funny is they don't want to like hide where they're from. It's just easier for them to say it's Mexico. Because, well, I mean, when you talk to an American, like they start like talking to you in Spanish, and they start using like a Mexican slang, like puto and all that stuff, and that means nothing to me. But I just follow them, like, yeah, sure, puto, like, because if I take the time to explain that I'm from Panama and it's a different kind of Spanish, their head will explode. So yeah.
Pop says, I put salsa on my spaghetti. It's all the same to me. LOL.
Oh, yeah.
Let me tell you something. When I was in India, when I was in Agra, especially at this guy's restaurant, the hotel thing, I had his recipe for this curry for my lunch. And straight ahead of me, through the window, was the Taj Mahal.
Nice.
So, very nice. Very nice. That's a different story.
But
Nicholas says Frank didn't write DK3. He admitted he had very little to do with it. Met Frank at Dallas Fan Expo. Absolutely a great experience. Blessed to have been able to get a Tin Soldier sketch by him. That's
awesome. Yeah.
That's cool.
Anyway, what's wrong with him?
Glenn making curry is about as British as it gets.
Yeah. That and tikka masala, like they're like national dishes from England, right?
Making a poor attempt at a bad joke, Nicholas Greer. Good. I met Frank Miller once. He sent literally sent a chill down my spine, and I couldn't. It was such a bizarre meeting that I don't know what it was. I just had to get away as fast as possible. So I had him sign my artwork and left. So it's just it wasn't a geek thing. It was just a you know.
It's like oof.
Yeah. I had a platoon sergeant from Panama.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you guys were here, like that was an option, joining the U.S. Army as a Panamanian. Because you had like the Southern Command here for 100 years. So yeah, a lot of Panamanians like, I want to join the U.S. Army. And like you're making no sense, but they did. And
Tank says this year's his 20th anniversary of his deployment to Iraq.
Oh, congrats, man! I don't know.
Glad you made it.
Can I congratulate? Yeah, that's better.
Good morning, nerds. I never read it, Nicholas. I thankfully folks warned me in time.
It's always good to have friends.
Al Capone's niece, Deidre, gave us his pasta recipe. He'd mix up the dough and roll it out, then drape it over the back of a chair to dry out. Then he'd cut it into noodles with his scissors.
That sounds like something you would do in prison. Like, you know?
Morning, RJ.
Like you're not cooking in the kitchen.
Al Capone.
Yeah.
I own DK3, but have only looked at the art in it. Yeah. I can make amazing tzatziki sauce.
Yeah.
I got from a Greek food stand in Kentucky. That is amazing. Yep, I make my pitas every month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's tzatziki. Like, dude, like my favorite Greek dish is spanakopita, which is like a
morning,
like
Katie.
Fritter.
Morning.
It's like an empanada with cheese and spinach. It's really
Caesar
good.
salad's actually invented in Taiwan.
Tijuana, yeah.
Tijuana.
Yeah.
They toss salad over there all the time. Curry and fried bread, the best of both worlds. LOL.
Yep. The salad tossing, it's extra, but it's very common. Yeah.
I wouldn't know. Only been to Tijuana once.
Oh, dude, I went to Tijuana playing with a band. So we went to Calexico, Mexicali, and Tijuana, which is like they're all border towns, but Tijuana is like the famous one,
most notorious. Yeah.
And dude, it's exaggerated, but not that much. You know, like the nightlife thing and the ladies and whatnot. So
yeah.
I got scared, man. Like, do you go to church, lady? Like, wait a minute, like, And they were not like working girls; they were just like regular girls.
I remember going to a 2-story strip club when I was there, that had a pole that went up in the middle of the stage. The second story was wide open where the stage was on the main floor, and had one of the dancers come running on the second floor and jump and grab the pole and swing around down to the first floor. It was
like
amazing.
A fireman.
Like a fireman.
Wow.
Only a lot hotter.
Yeah, that's commitment, though.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on the audience on whether
it was a big leap too. It was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, whoa, and like, oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I met Frank Miller in the early 90s at a retailers convention when I was a comic book dealer. He was very nice. Got my copy of Ronin #1 signed.
Oh, yeah.
Tank Ferret, same here. I go one of 3 trips to the Middle East. Rimshot. Oh, you served over there, Hojo. That's good job, Hojo. Boot Camp Adventure, Tijuana, LOL. Actually, it was San Diego Comic-Con for me.
Yeah, it's more of a scavenger hunt, more so than an adventure.
As a San Diego Comic-Con adventure.
Yeah.
Not as I guess exotic, but you know.
No.
Yeah.
Nope. I brought back a bottle of Muscatel though that I kept for many years.
Kept it for 3 weeks.
That's a very nice aperitif.
Border towns are at another level. It's crazy. Yep.
Yeah.
ICD or 3ID, Hojo. Taste the pita.
You have to sing that.
Taste the pita with the tzatziki sauce. Yeah.
Taste the pita with the tzatziki sauce. Yeah.
This is part of the show where Hojo and I talk in code. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Oh God, you don't want my stories. I had a room above a strip club in Nogales.
Yeah.
So we could drink on the weekends. They had a trapeze, fire poles, and ping pong balls.
I remember those trapezes, man. Like, a poor girl got a rash on her lower back for using that. Just don't do it, guys. Like,
they warned you in boot camp about that place, LOL. They tried to, at least. Just like when you go into Yellowstone, they give you half a page to remind you that the wildlife is wild and stay the hell away from the bison.
Don't stand right next to the geezers. And
stay away from those pools. Aren't really as cool as they look. Yeah.
Nope.
So of course everyone goes. Yep. Oh my. I was in prison.
Almost the same as the military, I think.
Totally believable.
Yeah.
101 AB. There we are.
Code. I don't know what
that's
is.
Code.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, back to Frank.
Yeah. Apparently,
Frank Miller admits declining health due to years of alcohol abuse.
At least he admits it. So.
Oh, it's a lousy ad.
Yeah.
Sink slowly into the west here. Is Frank Miller okay? He does not look well. If I wasn't told it was him, I wouldn't have recognized him. Frank Miller has been looking horrible lately. Makes me think he is sick with some sort of terminal illness. In 7 years, he's gone from healthy to really sickly. It's almost emaciated. I'll pray for him.
Well, this is tactful.
These are just a handful of Reddit posts and comments from 2014 and 15 when the declining health of Frank Miller, the legendary comic book creator of The Dark Knight Returns, 300 in Sin City, became both alarming and undeniable. Fans speculated that he had cancer or some other disorder that made the writer, artist, and filmmaker. Then in his late 50s, look suddenly ancient. Most were sure he was dying. Miller actually was dying, as he reveals in his new documentary, Frank Miller, American Genius, which confirms that he is...
He was by himself. He's like me kidnapping myself and asking for $1,000. Like, I'm going to get a movie of myself.
He's like the LeBron James of comic books.
Ever. Yeah. I'm Pedro, the best Panamanian ever.
It confirms that his debilitating illness wasn't anything that his fans guessed. He was an addict, ravaged by years of alcohol abuse. In an exclusive new interview, Miller explains that he used to drink to unlock his inhibitions, fueling the morbid creativity that made him such a powerhouse storyteller. His stark imagery, innovative use of silhouette and shadow, and willingness to plumb the darker recesses of the inhuman heart made him a superstar of the comics world, but his alcoholism intensified, his body withered, and Miller's own story took a grim turn. He was aided in his... Wife? Say what?
Could you imagine telling that to your wife? Like, baby, I need to drink like this. It unlocks my genius. Yeah. I might beat you, okay? But it's for the good of the whole family. Because I'm the GOAT. And I'm making the money here. So give me that gin bottle. Right, Carl? And
right.
There's been so many writers fall to the bottle, though. It's a common...
it's a common happenstance, yeah.
Happenstance, yeah, that's the word I was looking for. He was aided in his recovery by Celine Thomas, his longtime producing partner and director of American Genius. He credits with helping to pull him out of a free fall that surely would have killed him otherwise. Their movie, which chronicles Miller's mental and physical struggles, as well as his storytelling triumphs, will have a one-night-only theatrical release on June 10th. It had it already. At more than 90 Cinemark theaters around the country, featuring a live streamed introduction from him and Rosario Dawson, who starred in the 2005 movie version of Sin City and the 2014 sequel, A Dame to Kill For, both of which Miller directed with filmmaker Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah, okay. So Celine is a guy's name?
Celine probably could be.
Yeah, it's just...
In the documentary, I noticed how that you often became very close with people who were extremely hard on you. Your mentor was Batman and Green Lantern artist Neil Adams, who explicitly told you, "You're not good enough, kid. You're not going to make it in this business." And Marvel legend Stan Lee told you that you weren't ready for Marvel. Miller says, "Yeah, that was the submitting work that I had done when I think I was all of 15. He sent me a very gracious letter saying your stuff isn't quite up to our standards yet. It's rare for someone to welcome that kind of criticism. To hear your hero say you're not quite there and you may never get there would be crushing for most people." Miller says, "Yeah, it could be." And that's exactly why Adams would say it, because he didn't think people who aren't tough enough should stick around. Neil Adams would tell me my work was no good. It absolutely stunk, and I didn't have a chance. I should go back to Vermont and pump gas. I'd just say, "So what should I do?" And he'd throw a big sheet of tracing paper over what I did, recompose it for me, and fix the anatomy. Then he'd tell me, "Go get some little toy cars so you can learn how to draw the damn cars right." That's good advice, actionable advice. Miller says he was endlessly generous. If he saw that you're worth the time, he would do anything, and you became part of his family.
Yeah.
So what made you explore that? Certainly a lot more can be expected of today's artists whose style is mediocre or worse, are so thin-skinned they won't accept any criticism. A problem I wouldn't be surprised if Rob Liefeld had years before, and maybe even Bart Sears, recalling his artwork in the early 2000s, was alarmingly awful. Yeah. Lest we forget, Liefeld's take on anatomy was bottom of the barrel in quite a few of the tales he drew. Of course, in the age of social media, things have really gone south. Miller also spoke of a new Sin City project going on and said, well, that's apparently the writer's opinion here. Whoever wrote this piece, Abby Green.
Abby Green
had that feeling about whoever here, Bart Sears and Liefeld. What made you explore that era about Sin City? It says I'd been planning on doing a World War II era Sin City that was going to be called the Home Front, and I may yet do that one. Then I thought, why not just pitch it further back to when they had founded Sin City? It was like the legendary Dodge City, just a bunch of saloons and prostitutes and people running through town. So I started playing with that, and I ended up drawing a picture of my guy Marv with a mohawk and paint over his face, and that became the beginning of it. So if he had gone through with a story set in World War II, or does, one can reasonably wonder why he now has such a problem doing any kind of stories dealing with Islamic terrorism. By contrast, recalling defeatist comments in the UK Guardian just several years after publishing Holy Terror, along with his pathetic apologies for condemning Occupy Wall Street. What? Anyway, that sentence doesn't quite gel here for me. Seriously, if you can't confront a modern issue like Islam racism, there's no point in tackling World War II. I thought this was a straight interview instead of an opinion piece, but apparently I was wrong. All of that aside,
what website is this?
I do find this is Bleeding Fool. One more thing I find particular about Miller is his refusal to do any news articles like these about the sexual violence that occurred at the whatever encampments years ago. Sorry, folks. I thought this was more about comics. When Miller originally spoke the issue at the website, blah, 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 blah. So he's admitted he's got some alcoholic problems.
Yeah. I don't know.
Game and such well, that's not worth pursuing. This is kind of a lot.
That article went somewhere else.
Yeah, it sure did. It starts going off in weird tangents right there. I thought that was going to be more of an article about the evils of alcohol abuse, but
yeah, we start talking like, you don't like women and you don't like Islam.
Yeah, Grey Wolf nailed it there. Sounds like some leftist nut wrote this article.
Yeah.
Harvey Green's not normally like that.
No.
So what's going on there? I wonder.
I don't know. It's
one
got
writer.
A chip on his shoulder there somewhere. Morning, Henry. It's Morning, Henry. Put an AZ. Oh. More code. More code.
Are you guys going to shoot a cannon? What are you doing?
Say hail.
Yeah.
Just don't get us in trouble, folks. I was a tanker without a tank. Y'all can call that an acronym. Put that acronym together yourselves.
Oh, okay. I get it.
That's English again, isn't it? Anyway.
Yeah.
Mike Romero, Mike call sign, blah, blah, blah. Sounds like some leftist note wrote this article. Yep, covered that already. Hi, Tank Ferret. All right.
Whew. Wow, I was happy.
Yeah, sorry,
and
folks. Didn't mean to bring you down there. Where was I? Yes. Let's go here for a minute. There's a couple of other great articles waiting for our remarks. Just give me another moment here. Right here. This is a good one. This is a good comic article.
Okay.
Raina Telgemeier, Scott McCloud collaborate on new book. Whoops. Maybe if I put this up here, you'd actually know what I was talking about.
There you go. Huh.
Yeah. Raina Telgemeier, Scott McCloud collaborate on new book, The Cartoonist Club, coming from Graphics in 2025. Raina Telgemeier and Scott McCloud are collaborating on The Cartoonist Club, a middle grade graphic novel that will combine narrative and art instruction. Graphics will publish the 288-page book on April 1st, 2025, and a paperback with a manufacturer's suggested retail price of $14.99, and a hardcover with a retail price of $24.99. The story, aimed at readers ages 8 to 12, centers on 4 would-be comics creators with different strengths and weaknesses who come together to form a club. It was inked and colored by Ray Bayer and Benjamin Holman. Telgemeier broke the news on Blue Sky, saying that she and McLeod have been working on the book since 2020. McLeod added, Raina drew the real scenes and I did all of the kids' art, plus some other art extras. And most importantly, we collaborated deeply on the layouts and the script. Tons of back and forth during 3 drafts. Telgemeier is the creator of the best-selling Smile, Guts, and the First Babysitters Club graphic novels, among others. She has won several Eisner Awards and continues to be one of the most popular creators of comics for kids. See Top Kids Graphic Novels franchises Spring 2023. McLeod, who was inducted into the Eisner Awards Hall of Fame in 2021, is the creator of the groundbreaking Understanding Comics, a graphic novel that explains how comics work, as well as the follow-up, Making Comics, and the graphic novel, The Sculptor. So he's back doing stuff, and we've got the Cartoonist Club coming for your 8 to 12-year-olds.
Okay, we had something down here called the Burger King's Kids Club.
Yeah, we had it up here, too, for quite a while.
That kind of reminds me of the characters from the Kids Club from Burger King.
Doesn't it?
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah.
This is really an outgrowth from the Cool Cats comic club that Dav Pilkey did for the younger kids.
Yeah.
For like the 8 to 10ers. Really 6 to 10, about how to make your own comics.
Yeah.
This is kind of like the next instructional book up.
Yeah, I can see this working.
I'm telling, it's a lot more than what the other corporate companies are trying to do to raise another generation of comic book artists.
Yeah, interest in the craft.
People interest in the art form in general. So yeah, we hope it goes well. It'll probably make a good gift.
Godspeed. Yeah.
New comments. Have you all seen the latest updates on the Vrage 3 game engine
V-Rage.
and Space Engineers 2? No, we have not.
No,
Thanks for asking, Tank.
That sounds venereal. V-Rage.
Yeah, it does.
She suffers from V-Rage. Stay away from her.
Let's see what else we have here.
Yeah.
We had an article here from our friend.
Dude, I saw a thing on Twitter, but since everything is AI now, like I don't know if it's true. Like they're doing like a Godzilla versus Hulk comic book.
That's possible.
Have you guys seen that? Because that would be freaking awesome. Like I would buy a Marvel comic if that's happening, but I don't believe it. It's too cool for Marvel.
Tank says, "Gah, my son just spilled coffee all over my workstation." Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's what you get for having kids. No, I'm sorry. But yeah, kids are gonna do that. Like it's inevitable. Like
unfortunately, DC's AI mess is just the beginning.
You see,
a column by our buddy.
Yeah, Robbie.
Now, Jen, this is somebody that Luke's not too crazy about, but we love reading his columns.
Yeah.
Well, he looks like an upstanding guy.
Oh, he's a riot.
A lot of times Rob means well. It's just a lot of his information tends to be...
Rob's avatar looks more AI generated than mine.
It does, doesn't it? It was bound to happen. AI-based art generation tools are too easy, too ubiquitous, too almost good for some professional artists to avoid the temptation of taking a creative shortcut, especially if extensive reference of other artists' work is already part of their workflow. Last week, already controversial cover artist Francesco Mattina got called out for a Superman variant that bore some suspicious evidence of AI generation. Today, DC has replaced his scheduled covers in their latest solicitation. For those immersed in the controversies that generative AI is causing, in the creative community, this is an interesting, troubling, but potentially positive development. Backlash apparently did lead to the desired outcome, and other artists have been put on notice that their peers are watching and publishers are willing to draw the line. But for everyone else, what's the big deal? Why is Matina, whose work was popular enough in some corners of fandom and retail, singled out for a cover that doesn't look much different from the other stuff on the racks? What's going on?
Just before you carry on, that line that just go back down again. Scroll. When it says they're willing to draw the line, I would have had to put no pun intended.
No pun intended, because that's a problem. They don't want to draw the line.
That's
pretty funny.
Yeah. It was funny when I thought it.
You probably missed the entire point there. What's going on? If you haven't been following along at home, here's the rundown. Last week, DC solicited a variant cover for Action Comics number 1069 by Matina. Artist Adi Granov noted a telltale sign of AI art, a small flaw in the image. In this case, an imperfection in the Superman's S symbol that a human artist would not make, especially not in such a labored, rendered piece. Granov blistered Matina in a social media post that not only called out this example, but also noted his generally poor reputation as a swiper, photo basher, manipulating digital photos to create backgrounds and other pictorial images and shady characters dating back decades. Apparently, a lot of people have knives out for Matina because the online response was nearly unanimous. And over the weekend, DC's revised September solicitations includes replacements for all of the variant covers that he was in line to deliver, including Superman 18, Brave and the Bold 17, and several others. Matina has already reportedly been blackballed at other publishers over accusations of plagiarism. So problem solved. Justice prevails. Nothing to see here, right? Well, why AI art is problematic for publishers. The rise of generative AI is largely a top-down phenomenon driven by billions of dollars of investment by high-tech companies who have developed a solution in search of a problem. Many of the products rushed to market have some glaring technical flaws, like the weird errors and inconsistencies that tend to give the game away in cases of like the Action cover. But the bigger problem for publishers is that courts are starting to rule that AI content is not subject to copyright protection. Well, that's a shame. It's not subject to copyright protection, in part because it is synthetic, and in part because the underlying data models were built using content obtained without the permission of the original creators.
Okay, there's a comment about like not subject to copyright protection, because it's very nebulous. Because copyright doesn't disappear, so it's floating in the ether. Who owns it? The AI company, the amalgam of artists that were used to teach the AI to learn how to draw like them. Like they're just this is like a statement up to the middle of the road. We haven't seen the end of the road of this one, and more than likely, I think the AI companies is like, no, we own it. But they're not like brave enough to say it outright. Dude, whoever gets caught in this, like, dude, you did this to yourself.
I think this is part of that Photoshop debacle too. Talking about Photoshop.
Oh, dude, like,
we're changing our rules. Done.
Well, that's why the rules were changed.
Yeah.
It's so that they can source the art from anyone.
Yeah.
Using Photoshop for their AI software.
Dude, this is vampiric. That's what it is.
It is. That's very true. When publishers hire artists, they are buying all worldwide publication rights to the image, although the artist still owns the original. But with a work that includes AI-generated content, the rights may not be the artist's to sell. If nobody created the cover, then nobody owns the cover, which means anyone can make mugs, T-shirts, or their own comics using that image. Not awesome, especially if you are a global media conglomerate like Warner Brothers Discovery, and the work includes a trademark character like Superman.
Exactly. It's nebulous at best.
Yep. This remains a gray area because what if the human artist was simply incorporating elements from AI into a work that was otherwise made by hand? In the same way that an artist might manually or digitally trace a photograph to use in a background. The law recognizes that the creative process encompasses borrowing and adaptation of existing work, even without the explicit permission of the original content owner. So why not with AI as well?
Well, I think it was Socrates that said this. If you use AI, tough titty crackers, man. Like you open the door to that legal limbo. You know what I mean? Like that's something that we should stay away from.
The short answer is we don't know. Yeah. And I don't envy the courts having to sort it out.
The lawyers will be rubbing their hands, won't they?
Yeah, they'll make money off it. How much robot is too much? Hive, a commercial developer of AI-based content moderation technology, recently released an AI detection tool for text and images. When I dropped a JPEG of Matina's Action Comics cover into the tool, it concluded that the image was only 12.7% likely to contain AI-generated content, despite failing the eyeball test. That's bigger than 0, but still a sliver. However,
12% is not a sliver. That's like a pie.
Technical rules are 25%. Anyway, copyright. However, using a higher resolution, cropped version of the cover yielded significantly more conclusive results of 90.6%.
Interesting.
Oops. So what if synthetic elements are composited into the multi-layer file that also includes hand-drawn artwork? Commonplace digital filters like motion blur and other elements. What if AI generated the composition and color palette, things that AI image tools are actually pretty good at, but the artist then redrew the image by hand? What if the artist used AI to create reference for something that's hard to find a photograph of, like a historically accurate 9th century Viking city or a Yeti? There's plenty of photos of Yetis, Emily.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're taking pictures of me, putting them on T-shirts, and I'm getting pissed about it.
There you go. Does 1% robot involvement mean the work is tainted? If you ask the art community, the answer is an emphatic yes.
Yes.
There is a huge groundswell of anti-AI sentiment driven by the moral outrage of tech companies helping themselves to copyrighted works to train AI systems that seem designed to replace creative professionals, aggravated by a generous helping of tech bro triumphalism.
Yeah, there you go.
But in terms of copyright, it's harder to say. This problem gets even more tricky when you get outside the world of art and imagery. The plot thickens. Artwork is just one implementation of generative AI. The much bigger one is chatbots, which broke into the mainstream with OpenAI's ChatGPT and are now popping up uninvited to every piece of software and app you can think of. Some critics have been having fun pointing out the weird issues of chatbot hallucinations, such as when Google's bot suggested putting rocks on pizza, or their penchant for regurgitating the biases present in the data they were trained on. And that's true. Glitching robots can be hilarious, at least until they get their hands on the nuclear codes.
Okay, this is taking a turn again. Like this, writers are getting crazy, or maybe this is AI generated.
This is this is an opinion piece here.
It's Rob.
It's Rob. Yeah, exactly.
It's just Rob.
Sorry.
It's just Rob.
Wouldn't it be interesting to find out that this had been written through an AI?
By an AI. Yeah. It is an AI written article against AI.
Well, my big complaint about this in corporate comics is they're catching this guy doing artwork
red-handed.
That's AI generated, red-handed. Yeah, yep. They need software to go through all of these so-called writers' scripts because there's way too much ChatGPT going on. way too much. And you can see it by the lack of a soul or spirit in a lot of these scripts are just terrible in modern corporate comics. And these writers, so-called writers, these chat GBTers, prompters, not really writers, need to be called out, in my opinion. Anyway, however, chatbots can be genuinely useful if you're a professional writer. Here we go.
There you go.
Especially of fiction, not for writing finished prose, at least not if you care at all about expressing yourself in a distinctive style, corporate comic, but rather as a story coach. If you have some general ideas about story direction, characters, setting, and genre, you also have some skills in your craft as a storyteller and wordsmith. ChatGPT and its robotic relations can simplify the process of blocking out story beats, scenes, character arcs, and structure. Just for laughs, I walked ChatGPT through the process of plotting a 5-issue miniseries where Sherlock Holmes and the Shadow team up in the 1930s London to foil a scheme by Shuan Khan and Professor Moriarty, featuring a lively rivalry between Watson and Harry Vincent and Margot Lane. And Margot Lane developing a crush on Holmes. She likes men with strong noses. It took me about 45 minutes of pushing, prodding, and molding the output based on my own sense of the characters and plot to get a very tight outline.
Well, that sounds boring, but yeah.
He calls himself a writer? That's a terrible prompt.
Yeah, it's horrible. Ugh.
I mean, if you're going to have a robot write for you, you should do better than that, in my opinion.
Yeah, do better, prompter. Oh, no. You're muted, Randy.
Randy, you're muted.
You're muted.
You've been muted.
For a while.
Sorry, I was coughing there for a second.
There we go. And Randy's back.
Now, I'm not an expert on this kind of writing and don't do it for a living, but I do read a lot of comics and genre fiction. The story we collaborated on was not half bad, maybe less than 12.7% bad, in fact. And it would not have taken much to make it my own without any hint of its AI roots. But really, where's the fun in that?
Indeed.
Drawn by robots, written by robots, read by humans? The central question with AI is not whether it can serve as a decent crutch for creative tasks. AI is not whether it can serve as a decent crutch for creative tasks. Then what is it? Anyway, it seems to be able to, as long as you are smart enough to cover your tracks. The question is, how much of this output do we want or need? And why would we ever want art or stories created by anyone other than human beings?
Thank you.
I would ask ChatGPT, but I'm not sure I would trust the answer.
Dude, the thing's like, I don't know. I read Dune when I was 17. And that book has been a part of my philosophy my whole life. I think we are in what I picture as the Butlerian Jihad, which is man against the thinking machines. Like, this is the start of it. Creativity, in the impetus to do things is going to be stifled. These people like take advantage of these tools because they're doing the work for you. There's no human evolution. There's no input from yourself. If you allow an AI to do stuff for you, whether it be writing, composing music, or drawing, like this is a stupid endeavor. This is stupid.
It's called laziness, isn't it?
Yeah. Exactly.
Well, you're just collecting a check. You're just going to poop it out.
And lack of talent and creative.
Exactly right.
Ability.
Yeah. But I mean, if you're going to do that, like do something else, like sell drugs. Like I think it's better for society if you sell drugs rather than do a comic book using AI. And from the bottom of that, and I can put you in contact with people who will give you the product and give you a nice sales plan.
Well, they kidnap you as well.
Yeah, they will. They will teach you how to kidnap yourself and hold your own self on ransom. So yeah, there's better business than doing comics with AI.
Dr. Mass says so we can take that Superman cover and use it. Probably
Yeah,
because AI products cannot be copywritten, nor elephant paintings, monkey selfies. Yeah, the Superman contains trademarks. That's a whole different monster. Yes,
Yeah.
F Adobe.
Yeah, dude. Like, we should make a show on Adobe because those guys are burning from both ends, man. Like, it's awesome.
It's actually Jen O'Connor,
Sounds
Great
like they might
Cloudy
need to
Day.
go get a,
He just sounds like Luke.
Yeah, don't get it confused. I know it's confusing, Great Cloud, but yeah, it's
AI
this is
generating his voice.
Carl.
We're not stoned yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Like I really like. I have a lot of documents, but if you guys want to, like, we can make like a show just dedicated to Adobe and what it's done to the artist community and what it's trying to do now and how it's burning. Because, dude, this is no small feat. Like, we're reaching the end of a 25, if not more, 30 years monopoly on digital art tools with the fall of Adobe.
Yep.
And it's awesome because, dude, like, there's so many alternatives to Adobe right now that people just don't explore. Because it's like, no, I use Photoshop. No, I use Illustrator. No, I use InDesign. No, I use After Effects. No, I use Premiere. Like, dude, so many. One payment only, and it's yours for the rest of your life, unless you want to upgrade. And, dude, like, you can do, like, I became an Adobe. I posted in 2012, and I haven't looked back ever. I just don't. I use all the software, and I work professionally, and I'm doing well. I don't even know whether it's morning or night. So, yeah, I'm working.
There you are.
Yeah.
Grey Wolf says, yes, I've uninstalled all Adobe programs and have closed my Adobe account. Yesterday, I bought Affinity Photo.
There you go.
Which a lot of artists have told me is as good as Photoshop. Yeah.
Oh, dude, get Affinity Designer. It's not there yet, but it's getting closer to be Adobe Illustrator.
I am a little buzzed, Grey Cloudy Day says.
There you go.
Working on it. I stopped using Adobe when they went to subscription service only.
Same here. Yeah.
I just use the same programs I bought, probably 25 years ago at this point. It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
Yeah.
Hey, Cloudy Day, Tank, all creative, all Hail Creators Outlet. Hail Creators Outlet. Part of the problem with AI art, and this is learned on Discovery, is that some of the developers hacked into systems that contained art images.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. This is completely like, I don't want to say like illegal, like these guys are crooks. They just don't understand the value of creativity. Like, well, it's a drawing, you already did it. I just grabbed it and touched my AI to do it. Like, why are you so mad? Like, that's the tech bro attitude towards art.
Yeah.
And all I can say, like, dude, I want to wring your neck. You don't know what you're doing.
Tank Ferret missed us. Appreciate that, Tank. Exactly, Tank. The last Adobe program I had was Acrobat Pro. I tried to use Photoshop a year ago, and the new build is just horrible. Nothing like CS5 or CS6.
Oh yeah, dude. For video editing, I will always say the Black Magic products, DaVinci Resolve, and Fusion 18 right now. It's a big contender to replace After Effects and Premiere. The thing with Fusion 18 is that the learning curve is really steep because it's like node based, so it feels like you're building a rocket. But once you get it, like, you can do almost everything you can do with After Effects. The thing is that you don't have that many plugins to it, so a lot of the things you have to learn how to do it by yourself. So that's why the learning curve is very steep. But Fusion 18, awesome replacement, and it costs you like $300, one payment, and it's yours for the rest of your life. There's a free version that's limited, and you can do stuff with it too. So that's the thing. Like, that we should make a show just like how to replace Adobe completely.
RJ says AI is pranking us, openly threatening Judgment Day so we don't take it seriously. Way to play possum, Skynet.
Yeah.
Tank Ferret says, remember, the first safety is the BPE, booger picking extension. All right. Gray Cloudy Day. Yep, I'm in about 65 miles from Huntsville, Alabama. Chattanooga is an hour ahead of us here in Middle Tennessee.
Oh, there you go.
There's a casino up in the Upper Peninsula that exists in 2 time zones at once.
Whoa.
They have a little line in the middle of their hall that says, you're in Eastern time zone. Now you're in Central time zone.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah. helps when you one side of the casino hits 2 a.m. and they have to stop drinking. They all have to move to the other side of the casino for an hour to be able to, because in Michigan, you're cut off at 2 a.m. Anyway,
if you really need to feed that monkey, just cross the line.
Tennessee always has to be special. Says, how do we know that Randy isn't a chat bot? That's a good question. Yep, Tank Ferret. I moved here from Indiana in '85. Couldn't put up with my a-hole relatives up north. LOL.
Yeah, that will kick you
Ask
out of
him at his opinion on humanity, Jeff. Yeah, okay. You don't want to know. Randy GPT. What is the meaning of life?
42.
42.
42.
Yeah.
Yep. Any AI program will tell you that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm originally from Middle Tennessee, from Estelle Springs, Franklin County. Good to know.
Okay, this is very
Estelle
original.
Springs. I'm in Manchester, one of the sons in East End.
I'm in Manchester too.
Yeah. I have to go now, guys. My sister is home, and I got to call her. Okay.
Okay.
Take care. Great cloudy day.
Great
Thanks
cloudy.
for stopping by. We're getting out of here too. Here pretty quick. It's already been over an hour and a half. So
yeah, I don't like GIMP. I don't
Go ahead.
like GIMP because the interface of GIMP is very 2002. You know what I mean? So it's very difficult to navigate. Like you can get the work done. Inkspace is a little bit better, but as I said, like you pay $50. I think it's the price for a Affinity photo. And you can even rotate the camera. I think you can rotate the camera.
35 right now.
35?
There you go.
Yeah, 35 right now. Yeah.
Yeah, they're pushing really hard because Adobe is like on the ropes, so they're pushing really hard.
I'm just about to buy the entire suite.
Do it.
I've got Affinity. I use Affinity Publishing now, and I'm going to get the other stuff as well because it's really easy to use. I mean, I just looked. Nobody showed me what to do. I just looked at it and went through it. Obviously, got some experience or a lot of experience on the other stuff, but that Affinity thing is really good.
Yeah, and they've been around for a while. Like I switched to Affinity in 2018 or 19. I don't remember well, and I haven't looked back. Like it's just really good. Like I do, because sometimes like I get asked like my files in PSD for printing or whatnot, or an Illustrator, and you can do that from Affinity. Okay, if you want to do an AI from Affinity, just print a PDF and then change the extension to .ai, and it's an Illustrator file. No problem. So that's kind of like the little things you need to learn once you do the jump. You make the jump. There's some things you need to learn to be functional in the professional art world, digital art world. But it's completely doable. It's just knowing little things.
Yeah.
Postmaster Dan says, yard mode. I'm good.
Yeah, I did mine this morning.
That's a manly endeavor. Got a
Yes,
lawn, woman.
Jeff Potts says, by the way, here's a quick shill here. Drawn and Quartered Ultimate Edition. Chester Busby's channel is doing a art competition focused on my latest book.
There you go.
Good for you, Jeff.
Well done, Jeff.
Cool. Best of luck on that, man. I've had Affinity Publishers since 2019.
Very good product.
Hello. I'll try to
Very
make
good product.
Try to make it for that, Jeff. What's your book, Jeff? Postmaster Dan. Let's hope it's on funmycomic.com, folks.
Yeah.
I can't draw digitally. I'm waiting on a new pen.
Yeah, dude, that's
get a pencil.
That's rough. That'll make the screen all gray and graphite-y after a while.
Yeah.
The Revenant and the Tomb. It's a fantasy novel available on Amazon, Barnes & Nobles, etc. Cool, man.
Oh, cool.
Yep. Robot, Michael Postmaster. GIMP's interface is very old and technical.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like
GIMP is prehistoric. Mm-hmm. Herbert trying to promote your book. Yeah. But it works. Says, sorry, and the book is Revenant and the Cult. Got that already? Jeff, thank you so much. I use GIMP, and I am not an artist. Yep, Affinity programs are half price, which is why I bought Affinity Photo yesterday. Found a PDF program called PDF 24 also.
Nice.
Yeah, I've used.
Yeah, but the thing is, you can publish PDFs from Affinity.
Yep.
You can use this PDFs, PNGs, JPEGs, PSDs.
And it does the exact same stuff as like InDesign.
Yep.
I used it before I got a discount on the Adobe suite, but I've canceled Adobe because of
Screw those guys. Did they charge you extra
Photoshop
for
sucks.
Yeah.
No, because I've had it for a while. Like Photoshop sucks now. It's the worst.
Yeah,
It's
I use
not
CorelDRAW. I use
easy to
CorelDRAW
use.
12.
There you go.
Wow. That's some dinosaur software there, Randy.
We can tell, Randy.
Yeah, we can tell, Randy. Like,
Yeah,
we can see it in your face.
But it works.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, we're not bashing
Photoshop 7 too. Screw their subscription.
I keep finding that my pencil and artboard works as well.
There you are.
Even
the old ways are the best ways.
And we can see it in your face too, Glenn.
it sticks in my eyes. I've got to mow my yard later this afternoon. Too hot right now. There you go. Sorry, Grey Wolf.
There you go, yeah.
I've been using Adobe since Corel was the premier product. Hashtag I am old. Yes. Not the Herman Hunter book. All right. Getting a break in the heat. Grey Wolf taking advantage of something. Yep. This is code to cool, Pedro. I didn't know that.
Oh, about how to make AIs from Affinity. Yeah, that's the only thing. Is an AI file? It's basically a PDF with an AI extension. It would open.
It's probably time for us all to get back to work.
Yeah.
We're closing in on 2 hours, so let's do that. Pedro, tell folks how they can find you.
Oh, you can find me on X. If you need animation commission, I'm training myself on a new software called Moho, just because I didn't have access to vector-based animation. I was doing all raster, so now I'm doing Moho. So it's faster. It doesn't look as good to me like what I like to do, but it's a lot faster. So yeah, I'm doing that and working. Commissions are open. I'm a little bit swamped right now, but if you need something from me, just let's talk it over, and we'll find a way to accommodate you. So,
cool. Glenn, tell folks how they can find you.
Just go to Google and put my name in. You'll find me there. You can find me on Fun My Comic. You can find all my books and magazines on Amazon. 11 books now published, various subjects. Yeah, just put my name in Google and you'll find me there, as well as on these shows with Randy. And tomorrow morning and Sunday, I believe.
Tomorrow morning, yes. Tomorrow morning, we're going to be covering the Marvel Legacy of Jack Kirby.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Again, probably for the last time. It seems we're up to Inhumans and a little bit of what's that? Fantastic Four, and then we're jumping to 1976 and covering Jack's 70s period when he was really doing some great stuff there. So, hey, Carl, do you want to tell folks how they can find you?
Yeah, they can go to Lukestone Studios.
Busted.
I'm gonna mute.
I told you should have changed your voice, man.
Go ahead.
Hey, I want to thank you guys for kind of running the show the last 2 weeks. I was in town today, so I thought I'd pop on. I've been getting a little work done while we've been talking, so thank you guys for that, and do appreciate it. You guys are super entertaining without me, so.
Folks, I've kind of been your host and main reader, Randy Zimmerman. You can find my work over at aerocomics.store. You can go over there, join that subscription level there, only $5 a month. You'll get access to our ever-growing library, and it is going to be growing a lot here in the next year. And go and take a look at my stuff over there, like The Fool. And
Hey, Carl, feel free to join us every time, and you were a riot.
Thanks for joining us, Carl.
Yeah, I just couldn't shut up, could he?
I do 2 podcasts a week. One Friday morning, tomorrow morning at 5 a.m., where we're going to cover that Jack Kirby book. And then Sunday morning, 9 a.m., I do a podcast called Sunday Funnies, where we look at the oddball stuff about this art form that inspire us and keep us going. This Sunday, I've got a deck of cards here, a set of trading cards that few people have seen. That is the unpublished archives of one Jack Kirby. All sorts of great illustrations, most of which you may not have seen before, all in trading card form with explanations on the back of the card. And we'll be taking a good look at as many of those as we possibly can. And you can find that's on Sunday Funnies over at the Indie Comics Network, the Randy Zim YouTube channel, and the Comic Book Black Belt YouTube channel, because Russ and Glenn are usually with us the whole time. You're invited along as well. Like I said, it's a big box of cards. So there's a lot of stuff there for us to take a look at. Want to thank everybody for coming. Want to tell you there's enough negativity on these so-called social platforms. We don't need to be spreading it around and trolling. If modern comics aren't your thing, read the old stuff. The old stuff's a good stuff anyway. Yeah. Go sit down and read some great old Jack Kirby, some old Jack Cole or C.C. Beck, or your favorite artist, even Frank Miller's early work. I recommend it highly. Go over there and take a look at the run of Sin City and not be in awe. And we've talked about the unfortunate overabuse of alcohol that Frank did, and I just want to point out that substance abuse in this industry is not an unusual occurrence. So be careful, be good to each other, and if you see someone with a problem, try to help them as best as you can. Seriously,
try to be a fire hose of positivity.
Exactly.
Just get them kidnapped. That'll wake them up.
That's what you have. If that's what you have to do.
Yep. To get their attention.
Kidnap yourself and demand a ransom.
Dude, I feel so much better now that I'm free again.
Folks, we love you. We love this art form. We're so glad you're here. Thanks so much for talking in the chat. We appreciate you over there. We appreciate everybody that watches us after the fact. Hit that like button. There's not enough likes this week up there. I'm telling you now, if you're listening to me, hit that like button. Leave a comment on any of the platforms, wherever you find this program. It just helps with our algorithm and helps us get noticed by other folks. And if you enjoyed this program, tell your friends and jump in on the bacon while it's still sizzling. Thanks so much for coming along. Any last words, Carl?
No.
All right.
Maybe be careful out there.
Whoa! Wait a minute. You're gonna get sued, Carl. You can't.
I might. Leave a wood pile higher than you found it.
High alternative and independent comics, especially ours. Look for aerocomics.store and that expansion. All sorts of PDFs for you to enjoy over there, coming very, very soon. As soon as Luke finds the time to load them in.
Yeah. Maybe this afternoon.
And if you want to know what Jack Kirby is like, get a copy of this.
There you go. Available on Amazon, folks.
Yeah.
Amazon, yeah. And if you want the film version, get in touch with me.
Yeah. Go and touch Glenn.
Yeah.
Go and touch
Glenn. Take care, everybody. Have a great week. See you next Thursday at 9 a.m. here for more Nerd Bacon. And most of all, folks, just be careful out there.
Yeah.
Let's be careful out there. Let's be careful out there. We had a 187 at the 7-Eleven on the corner of 4th and Main. Two Caucasians of the male persuasion put a bullet through the cashier's brain. Moving on, I see it 211, half a dozen 459, 280 double user GTA, and several miscellaneous crimes. Homicide, arson, robbery, rape, everybody gets their share. Crime never sleeps, so stay awake. Let's be careful out there.
Taste the biscuit. Taste the goodness of the biscuit.